Good evening, everyone, everybody, whomever is getting connected at this time or later on. We are very happy to have you here today as we kick off the SpiritistLive, a program within the Spiritist Federation of Florida. A lot of people may not know, but these lives are going to be done so that we can continue spreading and disseminating Spiritism as it should be, with a lot of joy, with a lot of special guests, with a lot of people that are contributing in the Spiritist movement. So we are very excited to be here. My name is Andrea Marshall Neto. I am one of the directors within the board of directors of the Spiritist Federation of Florida. And as we go along with the Spiritist Lives, you guys are going to get to know the other directors who will be presenting in this manner. We start putting faces to the name, and we really feel that we are connecting with you at this time. Today is really special because we are also not only connected within the Spiritist Federation of Florida's channel, but we are also connected and TVC with the International Spiritist Council, which is a great honor for the work that is being done within the Spiritist movement worldwide. It is also important to have these lives so that we can continue also presenting other very noble organizations that are doing amazing work and are contributing at this time. And so the International Spiritist Council is one of those. It is happening. There's so much happening within the International Spiritist Council, which is being led by the General Secretary, which is our special guest today, Jussara Konrgold. We are so happy that she is the one who is kicking off this program that eventually will become on a weekly basis every Sunday at 6 p.m. We are also connected with the FEB publisher webpage, which is responsible for printing and having books translated into several languages so that there are no barriers, so that there are no different cultures. It is for all. Spiritism for all, which is actually as it should be, destined to everyone. So before I pass on the word to our special guest, we are going to invite you to do our opening prayer with us. If you want to grab a glass of water, if you want to relax, close your eyes or keep them open, it is up to you, but definitely open your hearts so that we can together vibrate in such a way that our homes, those that are with us at this time, whether incarnate or not, may feel from our heart that which is the best, pulsating from our heart, trying to allow this light to become ever brighter as we continue to elevate our thoughts to our Master Jesus. We are so very grateful for being connected with you, dear Master Jesus, through your missionaries of light, the benevolent spirits who are responsible not only for our present reincarnation, but also for the work of dissemination of Spiritism. We truly hope that we are making all of you proud, for our best intentions are at heart, and we also wish to connect with those that are listening at home, so that they may also feel this wholesome touch, allowing the bright light to also shine all around them. Thank you so much, and also bless our special speaker, Jussara Konrgold. So be it. Welcome, Jussara. I feel that a presentation is not even needed because a lot of people already know you. They know the work that you do. But just in case, just to leave it there for any newcomer, Jussara, she is an amazing worker within the Spiritist movement for years. She is at this moment in the post of Secretary General, as we mentioned, of the International Spiritist Council, the President of the United States Spiritist Federation. She is the founder and the president of the Spiritist Alliance for Books. She is an international speaker, published author, and a translator. Mrs. Konrgold works for DARA Institute in Brazil for child health as its main executive. I don't know if there's any more that she can handle on her plate with all the work that she's doing, but she took the time to be with us today, and we are very, very grateful, especially because we know that it takes time away from the family, from other engagements. So thank you for being with us today, Jussara. The world is yours.
Thank you so much, Andrea. You know how special it is every time we are invited to serve on behalf of Jesus. And when we have the opportunity of talking to people, talk about some reflections that we have to do on our day-to-day lives. And one thing that I always like to say about Spiritism is here for us today, for what we are going through today, the troubles, the happiness, everything. It has to fit in our lives on the our day-to-day lives. So this is why I think, and I try as much as I can within my conditions to spread this knowledge, to have this kind of encounter, and to be able to talk to each and every one that will be hearing us now or later. And for the presentation today, I was thinking about one of the questions that we mentioned so much when we are studying anything that is related to Christianity, and of course also in terms of Spiritism. And the question is that particular moment when Paul went to Jesus and asked him, "What do you want me to do?" So today we are living days where we are called to giving testimony. And this question, "Lord, what do you want me to do?" when we are before existential void, when we are before struggles, when we are before happy moments or, happy situations, there is always a name for everything that happens in our lives. And regardless of how we consider it to be, if we consider it to be something that is causing us pain now, or it's causing us happiness, there is a program, there is a plan behind all that. And we have to understand this plan. We have to understand what we are doing here. And this is the time where we were called to give significant testimonies. Everywhere we look, we see pain, misunderstanding, antagonism, and in some regions we even see war. Everything because of selfishness and the desire to dominate. And many times we will even find the pain that is brought by great calamities, tragedies that shake the world and expose human fragility and invite us to reflect on our values. So often we just fix our gaze on material wealth, and we neglect the richness of living and coexisting with our loved ones. We see even the earth crying out for us to be more careful, to be more aware of our actions and everything that our neglect is bringing, to the earth today. So the earth, we can say the earth is a mother and wants to provide the best for her children. And here we are, brothers and sisters, living these days of testimonies. And sometimes, we assume an attitude where we are going to be accusing or trying to find a culprit for what is happening. We want to find someone that is responsible so that we can blame this person, this situation, and instead of looking for solutions. When the milk has been spilled, we must take the necessary steps to reverse the situation. This is the moment where we see, Paul before Jesus. He was the arrogant Pharisee, the accuser of others' faith, and he set out on the road to Damascus to continue this path of death persecution that he had begun. And everything started with the arbitrary condemnation and stoning of Stephen. So he proceeds in his pride and his encounters the phenomenon of the light that causes him to fall from his mount. But providentially, it makes him reflect deeply on himself. He could no longer doubt, but he still found the strength to utter a few words after hearing in the depths of his being the words that must have been spoken with so much affection. So, why do you persecute me? And he asks, who are you, God? Who are you, Lord? I'm Jesus. And his response is the one that intrigues us till this day. He just said, Lord, what do you want me to do? And Joanna de Ângelis, in the book of Full Life, chapter 4, a book that was published by DIvaldo Publish, she says that these questions that Saul, the young rabbi, asked Jesus when he appeared to him at the gates of the Damascus is very current, because it holds a psychological existential meaning, the essential elements to live and strive to reach the goals designed for the human journey. She says that this is neither trivial nor frivolous, that it's a very important, crucial question. And he wanted to know how to use his focus, how he should apply his focus, and what he should change in his behavior. So according to what Joanna de Ângelis, the benefactor, tells us, she says that was a very decisive moment where there was no room for uncertainty or doubt. He could not afford to be vague about his destiny. And he had to go. And of course, this would mean that he had to have a great deal of courage and give himself completely. So this question of Paul always led me to deep reflections, while simultaneously was always enchanting me, because his lucidity and determination. Sometimes I wonder how I would have reacted if I were in his place. Well, probably like most of us, who either would remain in denial and immediately would fall into self-justification. He could go and say, I didn't know you were the Lord. There are always so many people claiming to be the messiahs. I did with Stephen and with the nascent, the growing Christianity, what I had to do to maintain the faith in the true God and all of that. But he didn't say anything like that. He went straight, completely jumping the stages of repentance, expiation, reparation to this path of reparation. So there is no time for me to lose in trying to self-justify, in just staying, whipping myself because I did something bad, going through this path of atonement that would not be productive. What can I do that is at the same time a way of make reparations, make amends, while atoning for everything that I did? So, and actually, to me, I always thought that this question that he asked Jesus demonstrated his complete and total submission to Christ. He surrendered himself as a servant who only wishes to serve his master, and in this case, as we know, a master of love and forgiveness. So, but in our position, if we were faced with such a question and such conundrum, what would we be expecting as a response? And Joanna de Ângelis tells that even today, this is a very significant opportunity, because life without meaning would be bringing us enormous suffering. That we always must know what we are doing, so that we will find motivation and courage to go on. But I think in our case, I can't speak for myself, probably I would prefer to receive direct instructions. Yes, Jesus told him, go to the city and wait for Ananias, and he's going to tell you what to do. And but in our case, we would want more direct instructions, tasks, and especially him, because of his position, his knowledge, and he perhaps would expect to be entitled to start from the top. And we ourselves, we would want this more direct instructions as well. If you have anything that could make it easier, this journey, or even some shortcut that we could take, because all of those things in reality would only makes us waste time. So this is when Joanna de Ângelis says that no one can advance in this existential pathway safely and peacefully unless they have the ideals and something that will compel them to move forward. So, but what happens? We keep on waiting and missing opportunities. And there are so many calls and opportunities that we overlook. And Paul himself saw that in the communities that he was visiting and corresponding with. In one of these letters, the letters to the Ephesians 5:14, he says, "Wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." So what Paul is telling to this community and to us today, he's inviting us to follow this path to meet Jesus, to follow on his examples, Paul's examples. I mean, he completely disconnected from his past, from his position of power, of, someone of great intelligence and prestige, because he understood where the truth was, and the truth was with Jesus. I'm the pathway, right, to truth. That's what Jesus told us. So he gave himself at that moment before he knew Christ to furiously persecuting all manifestations of the nascent gospel. But he came to his senses. And he came to his senses immediately. But what is our position? What would we do? And many times we will say, it won't work. I don't have the strength. This is too special for people like me. I'm not one of them. I'm not a Paul. But this is because we haven't allowed Christ to penetrate us. So nowadays, as the Spirit, Joanna de Ângelis says, many or a great majority follow, people, everything that others are doing, and they become conformists, and others that exhibit extravagant behaviors that becomes a group of tyrants or reactionaries. And there are another group of people that are just giving themselves to everything that can numb their senses, and that's why they live in this existential void. So what happens is that when we have all this knowledge, when we have all that, all these reflections, all the words that we have received from the spirits, from the benefactors, there are, directed by Jesus, we can see that many times we are not taking advantage of the precious days that we are enjoying on earth. So we forget our obligations. We don't think about our role in contributing to collective progress. We're just thinking, others have to do this, others have to, fix the world. And we don't think we have to take a part in it. So most of the time, we just think about ourselves and not thinking that it is by serving, it is by having an attitude of altruism that we are actually going to be feeling this vacuum within ourselves. So Emmanuel, in this lesson 66 in the book Living Spring, published by Fab Publisher, he comments on this saying, on this writing by Paul to the Ephesians, and he says, "Wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." So he says that sometimes we resemble beautifully adorned corpses, that we are not being useful to ourselves, we are not taking advantage of opportunities that could add spiritual values to us. And this is even though sometimes it comes the time when he says that we will say, "Lord, Lord," and we will believe. Believe is not doing. To know is not the same as to do, and to go and really to put all this knowledge to help and assist us. And this is what Paul did. He didn't want to wait, like I said before. He wanted clear directives, and he didn't want to waste any time. He couldn't afford wasting more time. So and many times, in spite of receiving all this knowledge, all this understanding, and everything that we have been blessed with, we still think that we have all the time in the world, that we, sometimes the spiritists even say, there are other incarnations, I can do that later, I don't need to do all this now. And we procrastinate, and we remain in the horizontal position of idleness. So this attitude doesn't allow us to achieve a spiritual ascension. So it is necessary for us to awaken our hearts, and of course with that impacting the lives of others as well, because others are watching us. We can become examples. And this is what happened to Paul when Paul first appeared in the congregation of the followers of Jesus, the apostles at that time. No one wanted to believe him just because he went there and said, "Now I am a changed person." He proved it himself. He showed everyone he was a changed person. And so this is when we think about, what do you want me to do now that I know all of this? What should I do with this knowledge? And what can I make a difference in the lives of others, and at the same time no longer remain in this idle position of just conforming with everything that is there. I mean, we have to remember as well the parable of the barren fig tree. It's not enough for us to have this potential and knowledge if we are not serving the ideals of eternal life, and if we not continue sowing without discouragement. So it's about serving wholeheartedly, and this is when we understand the difference that it makes when we have all these opportunities of listening to so many friends, so many that dedicates, their time, their efforts, their possibilities to share with us this knowledge, because they are giving us, that are providing us with their fruits as well, with what they are experiencing in their own lives. And we know, I'm sure all of you that are hearing me now, we know that how hard life can be sometimes, and how blessed we are because we have a faith, because we we know about the love and the mercy of God. We know about the help and the assistance of the Spirit. And even when we are down, how much they are there to support us and say, you have to go through that, but you don't need to go through that alone. So this is why, we should not just think about, uttering empty words. It has to come from the heart. We cannot just tell others, go and do this or that, and I'm expecting you just because of, there are 5 books in the codification and so on, that now you have to do everything, or if you would have enough knowledge and even the strength to do that. We know how hard it is, and how important it is for us to not demonstrating any kind of insensitivity, because sometimes, some people come to us with so much pain, so much pain, and we cannot just go to them and say, pray, you have to pray more, or just come to some talks and lectures or read books, when we should be there listening to them, practicing charity. And if we can say anything, we don't say anything, we just be there for them. There is this book that is from Dr. Bezerra de Menezes, through the mediumship of Ivone Pereira, Madness and Obsession, where Dr. Bezerra says that the experience of knowledge is of utmost importance for the real acquisition of illuminating values that ennoble the spirit. But he says, for this reason, no matter how respectable the theorists may be, their concepts, if not experienced in practice, become intellectual adornments for their own vanity. Or like Emmanuel said, preciously adorned corpses. And Dr. Bezerra says, adornments for their own vanity without being useful to those who urgently needs resources to solve the challenges ahead. So it's not about just, trying to preach or to, and to give all this knowledge and to say, oh, you have to know by heart this or that, this prayer, this book, or whatever. No, it is about, leading each and every one, starting from us, to this understanding, to understand the need, like Allan Kardec says in the Gospel According to Spiritism. The true spiritists are known by the effort they do to tame their evil inclinations. So this is what we are doing. And then Joanna de Ângelis, again, in the book A Full Life, she says, so got a response from Jesus. Go to Damascus, and there you will be told what to do. And so at that moment, recognize the sublime goal for which he was destined. The apostle of the Gentiles was born, and he knew what he had to do, enlighten humanity. And it's so amazing because, he was blinded at that point. And whether this was exactly what happened or if it's just a metaphor, he was completely blind for what it was before. And now, through a new path, through going to Damascus, through the help of Ananias and the directions he would have to go, that scales that he had on his eyes that he thought before he was seeing, but it was not seen because could not see the pains, the pleas that were coming from humanity suffering, and now he understood that he had to go there, in the same way that he started to have a new vision to also enlighten the vision of others. So he understood the meaning of love and charity and completely surrendered to get the good news, and had never stopped it, as far as you know, never to this day, and each time more. So we have been invited to awaken. We are workers of the 11th hour, or more like, I want to say, maybe the last 5 minutes. The hour has passed already, most of it. But we have delayed on our path. We have been distracted and focused only on the worldly matters, without considering our spiritual growth. But now, with the advent of Spiritism, the voices of the spirits came and started crying out loud all over the planet, announcing that we are immortal, and that God, our Father, in its mercy, will give us opportunity to grow. So, Lord, what do you want me to do is not just a simple question from a servant to his master. It is a profound inquiry with numerous applications in each of our daily lives. It is that pivotal moment that, for the sincere believer, that, irresistible step in breaking away from our addictive behaviors that is hindering our spiritual journey. So it's the moment where we have to have also a critical examination of what we are, who we are, and what we want to become. And in a psychography of Chico Xavier Emmanuel, that was received in July 8, 1941, Emmanuel says, in relation to Paul of Tarsus, many say that Paul received a direct call, but in truth, we all receive a personal summons to the service of Christ. The forms may vary, but the essence of the call is always the same. The invitation to ministry sometimes comes subtly and unexpectedly, but most resist the Lord's generous call. And this is what we are doing. We are still giving ourselves to become accommodated and stay in our comfortable zones. And we are missing the opportunity. And those are times where we cannot do that. And I think, if I could say something for you to remember from our, sharing today, is go and ask God, ask Jesus, what do you want me to do? Show me the way. And please make me alert so I will not miss opportunities like I have been missing so much during this time. The time that we have been on earth so generously provided to us by God. And we would like to end our presentation today with a poem that is from the book Transcendence, Life in the Hereafter, that United States Spiritist Federation is just publishing. As it's called Soul's Journey from Persecution to Redemption. And the poem goes like this: Soul, soul, why do you chase me so? Why do you not heed love's inviting flow? In Abigail's sweet voice, dedication you did see. In Stephen's torment, devotion in its decree. Stones could not silence him, we know that's true. The invitation I extended lingered within you, yet you resisted, remained on your sorrowful quest. But I could not abandon you, I knew what was best. I sought you in the desert sandy terrain, for I wanted you, my brother, by my side again. I blinded you to the world's elusive glare, but expanded your celestial vision with care. You felt rejected. In isolation, you were tossed. No longer the Pharisee, but my humble servant embossed. You endured the world's lashes, relentless and cold, yet your profound commitment remained steadfast and bold. Your faith never wavered through thick and through thin, and through you my message was firmly held within. Faithful servant, I come to take you by my side. For all eternity together we'll confide. We'll sing the Creator's kingdom's glorious news. Now, my brother, in his love you choose. You're invited to commune with the divine above in the eternal embrace of its boundless love. So thank you so much. And may we all have this conversation from our heart with our Master Jesus, with the good spirits, so that we will know what to do.
Beautiful, Jussara. I kept thinking about all the messages that we receive and all the comfort, the encouragement through these messages. And truly, we are blessed for having Spiritism in our lives as this beacon, right, guiding us. And you mentioned how many people are walking around aimlessly. I mean, they don't know where they're going. They don't know what to do. They're seeking meaning for their lives, whether they're rich, you know, they have everything, but they don't. Or, you know, they're in a situation where they feel that they are abandoned or orphaned. And benefactors such as Joanna de Ângelis and Emmanuel, they came for a reason. I mean, they were not bored in the spirit plane. They came to bring us these messages to facilitate our path. And so you're right. We should really be trying to get this connection with Jesus. And I really loved this phrase by Joanna in that chapter. May your lips and heart have no other question than this: Jesus, what do you want me to do? I remember talking to DIvaldo Franco, and I said, like, seriously, Jesus knows like all of us, like, you know, with details. Yeah, you know, I mean, we can conceive because of his greatness, but he also said that when we think about him and we pray, there is an instant connection because he is connected to us at all times. And solutions appear, comfort all of a sudden takes hold of our hearts. The crying ceases because we feel like we've been heard. So I think your study is extremely, extremely important. And I hope people listen to it again, paying attention to what you brought on your reflections, and try to apply it in their own lives so that we are not those beautiful corpuses just walking around. I remember reading that message. I was like, my God, could he be even more direct, right? So thank you, Inez, for being with us. I know that there were other people connected who were quiet, and there are no questions as far as I see. So Jussara, do you want to talk a little bit about the International Spiritist Council and what you guys are up to?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. As I don't know if many people know, but the International Spiritist Council is, let's say, the congregation of all Spiritist, national Spiritist federations, and we gather together to, you know, to share knowledge and methodology, because of course the spiritism is there. There's nothing to change, but how we can do that and how we can spread this knowledge. So there are several initiatives that we've been doing in terms of, you know, contemplating both the adults and also children and youth, and so we have been having a lot of meetings, and even the study that has this beginning of the year that has started with just the youth. They are coordinating everything. So we have, teenagers from all over the world talking in their different languages, but understanding each other. And we have the Spiritist Review, Revue Spirit, that is another project that we have since we have the rights to continue the works of Kardec and the Revue Spirit. And this has been happening in 7 different languages. So everyone in different countries will be able to read and have access to the same articles. But most importantly, what we are doing now is actually preparing for the World Spiritist Congress that is going to be hosted by Uruguay, Punta del Este, next year, 2025, on October 4 and 5. And we hope that we can see all of you there. This World Congress, they are, we do that every 3 years. And so we have an opportunity to go in different countries, and this time it was the time for the Federation of Uruguay to be the hosts of this event. And we are so excited about it. And you can find information on the website 11 CEM.com. You already have an opportunity to get your tickets. And even if you're not sure if you're going, please do get your tickets, because also we are going to be hosting for the first time the Congress entirely for the youth, and it's going to them. For them, it's going to be entirely free. But of course, this costs money. So everyone that is buying their tickets, they say, at least do a little donation, make a little donation so you can help a youth as well. We have to feed this youth, all of this. So we are so excited. And the youth is so excited. And, this is a great project for us to actually do something in terms of thinking about the continuity of Spiritism for the next generation, and it's in our hands, to do what we have to do. And so it's basically, the most important things we are doing right now. And I do hope you attend. If you have any questions, just don't hesitate to get in contact with me. That we will more than happy to reply to your questions. I will tell you as well that Punta del Este is a very small peninsula, so every hotel is next to each other, and so we all are going to be in this beautiful place all together, and you cannot be wrong in any of them that you choose, because they are all very good and very close to each other.
Very nice. And now I'm going to ask you to switch hats, for the United States Spiritist Federation, and tell us a little bit about the symposium that is coming up as well.
Yeah, sure. Every year for 18 years, we have been doing the United States Spiritist Symposium. Again, one of the things one of the aims was always to have in a different stage. So we have been to many different states already, having this symposium. The symposium is entirely in the English language, because from the beginning we knew that we were called here to spread the knowledge and to disseminate the knowledge of the same thing that many other people or peoples may have in the English language. So this year, Life Through the Lens of Immortality, we are going to be going with a vision more to the philosophical aspect of Spiritism, which is absolutely great among all the others. I always say that I love this best. I love this. I love everything. And so it's going to be in Boston, Massachusetts. So it is a place, very easy for all of us to go. It's on September 21st. And so everyone is invited. And there as well, we will have activities for children and youth. And it's always a very important opportunity for us as spiritists here in the U.S. to gather together and, to recharge our batteries with hugs and commitments and everything that we have the opportunity of doing when we are there.
Very nice. Thank you, Jussara, for sharing all of this. Make sure you register, like she said, even if you can't come. Promoting these events costs a lot of money. And usually the benefactors assist us. We don't really make money off of it. We are able to pay, but only when we count on donations and registrations that comes with the participation. But it is a lot of fun. You meet a lot of new people. You see old friends that are spread throughout the United States, and you get to meet new states. For me, that's the plus. It's an amazing gathering. On this note, we are coming to the end of our first Spiritist Live, and I thank you, Jussara, so much for being with us and extending our gratitude to João, who let you go for on a Sunday to be with us. And I want to ask you to do the final prayer for us, please.
Sure. Inspired by Paul, and how immediately he recognized how Jesus represented the light of our lives. We ask for all the benefactors that are with us now, that knows what we have in our heart, how much we have been trying to conquer ourselves to not fall again, that we can listen more to them, to their advice, to feel them connected to us, to give us strength, so that we can finally take a step more in getting closer to our Heavenly Creator. May we all feel this peace in our hearts, the energy of love and blessings in our homes, and may we be assisted throughout our week, and always sure that Jesus do know who we are and is offering always opportunities to follow him and to guide us in this pathway to improvement, to perfection. So be it.
Have a good night, everyone. Thanks again, Jussara, for being with us. Have a great week.